Finally, Ben 10's on! Okay, I may not have my own real Omnitrix, but if I jump down, I will be able to turn to the Leopard Doctor and Stinkfly. Childhood obsessions. If you couldn't tell by the intro, I'm a really big fan of Ben 10. And I know a lot about the lore. A little bit more than I should. Literally, ask me anything about math in class, I definitely won't get it. But ask me anything about Ben 10 lore, I promise you I'm nerding out. When I was younger, I used to make these crappy Ben 10 Omnitrixes. And I actually still do make these Omnitrixes today. Here are some of the ones I've made so far. This is my cardboard version of the prototype Omnitrix in the original series. Here's mine from Alien Force. This is mine from Ultimate Alien, and finally from Omniverse. And this is a pic of me wearing all of them. I know, pretty cool. And you might want me to talk about the reboot, and all I have to say, I actually don't hate it that much. The Ben 10 reboot has a lot of pros and cons, a little bit more cons than pros. Although I have spent a full minute of the video talking about Ben 10, here's a list of Ben 10 aliens and the species that I know. First on the list, we have the Power Knight Heat Blast. Then there's my favorite alien, Diamond Head. Then there's Forearms. And then I just realized if I keep going, most of the video will just be about Ben 10. But I do make Ben 10 videos, so go watch that. Now on to another childhood obsession. If you didn't know, I love the Thomas and Friends franchise. When I was younger at church, I used to take my mom's notepad and doodle these little Thomas and Friends drawings. Another story about Thomas that I remember is one time in kindergarten, we had show and tell, so I brought in my old Thomas toy. But at the time it had Annie and Clarabelle. And if you look at it now, the eyebrows are kind of chipped off, and I lost Annie and Clarabelle. But a couple years ago, I did get a new Thomas, and look at him. One thing about the Thomas and Friends franchise that I don't like is the new reboot. I really don't like the reboot because it's kind of cartoony. I mean, take a look at this picture. Tell me it doesn't scare you. And you're probably wondering, this dude literally makes crappy cartoons on the internet. Why is he complaining? And you're right, but that's different. But in my opinion, you're not a real Thomas fan if you haven't watched Transformers. If you don't know anything about Transformers, it's basically combining Transformers and Thomas and Friends. And both of those together is basically Optimus. And I'm not joking, Optimus Prime is literally the canon name. And if you haven't watched Transformers, I think you should. It's still on YouTube. And now that brings us to another childhood obsession, Transformers. I absolutely love Transformers. Whether it's the shows, movies, or anything else really. And my favorite Cybertronian is actually Bumblebee. And here's Bumblebee with Optimus. And I can't wait for the Transformers 1 movie. And another thing I'm obsessed with, Beyblades. I remember when everybody used to bring their Beyblades to school. Now, I still got some Beyblades. And here's all of the ones that I do own. But I also have some Beyblade X. My first ever Beyblade was actually Victory Valkyrie. Another thing that I really love is Captain Underpants and Dogman. I still own some Dogman and Captain Underpants books. And some Cat Kid ones too. And here's a collection of all my Dogman books. Although I don't have all the Dogman and Cat Kid books, my favorite school graphic novel is actually Big Nate. And these are some of the Big Nate books that I do have. And another book series I love is Wimpy Kid. Now, a year ago, back in the 8th grade, me and my friends had this debate that I brought up that who would win in a fight, Big Nate or Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I personally thought Big Nate. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. And now on to the end card. I know it's been a while since I posted, like a month or so, but I will try and post more. And I hope you guys liked the video, and stay blessed, and I'll see you guys next time.